It's Tiff. This is my first build video of a ramen shop house. A ramen shop house is a building that serves as a place for residents and businesses, and it is called machiya, in where machi means town and ya means home. And in this build I will use only base game, so if you want to make it function like a restaurant, you can add items from dining out to make it work, and I would recommend you to add door and lock it to block the customers from going upstairs to your residence on the second floor. And at the very beginning of the build I already made a shell, and I made it into a Japanese feeling style houses, and where there's a two level build, and the first floor will be the shop area, while the second floor will be the living area. And so I do use some kind of decorations, like the first floor, the front door is a sliding door, and there are also curtains in front of it, so it's more like a machiya that you'll see in Japan. And now I'm currently like building planter box for the second floor, and I think it's not that common to have like very fancy decorations, but I just like to make this build more lively, and so I add a bit of greenery on the second floor using a planter box. And so this is my first build video, so I'm pretty excited and nervous at the same time. So I'm not sure if you guys love this kind of different kind of buildings, because a lot of times the Sims build videos are normal country houses, and I want to bring something new here from my cultural background. So yeah, and currently I picked more white color for the outside, and I realized I made the roof wrong, because it's supposed to have the roof facing facing the front, and I made it wrong. So, and now I place the stairs inside, and I realized sometimes the windows don't match, and I made some space for the washroom for customers on the second floor. And at first I tried to make it into something like that we have a washing basin that's shared by both male and female, or just the users of the washroom. But then I realized there is insufficient space, and it will kind of like I cannot make my window to place it better, because I like to be a bit more symmetrical in this case. So I just realized I need to like divide it into two identical washroom, so that people can use it, and I can have a bit more easy time to decorate the place, and not having to worry about how to place stuff and like that. And here I made an open kitchen style, because usually the ramen shop, if you have been to one, usually the chefs will cook the ramen in front of you. They will serve through directly to your table, although I know that it's impossible to do it in Sims 4, where it needs to be served by a waiter or waitress. but then I still want to keep the style because it's what I want to build. And it's a ramen shop, so I keep this design where people sit on the bar table, and then the chef will just serve it when they're done with their cooking. So this is what I think, but how it works in The Sims 4 will be different. And now I'm choosing what kind of wallpaper, and I struggle a lot, and I finally stick with this one. This rather beige one, because it's more neutral, and I think it suits the vibe of of a ramen shop more. I'm not making it too fancy because I'm imagining it to be like an old ramen shop to be inherited by generations. Although I know it does not look too old, the build does not look too old, but I try to make that vibe. And now I'm trying to play small table because I realized if I only have the bar seats for the customer, I don't think it's possible to have a bit more income. So I decided that why not use the space behind the house. So I built an outdoor area, and so I can place a bit more tables so that Sims player, if you use this build, then you can earn a little bit more than what it is, and not just relying on the tables inside. So yeah, so here you can see how I build the outdoor area, and I actually picked the build to be located in here because I really like that there's like a riverside thing just beside this build. I don't know why, but I think it kind of fits into a Japanese build. I know that this kind of machiya, or the shop house, they're usually in that they are more closely neighboring with each other, that usually there will not be such a big space between the shop houses. So it's actually not that authentic in my sense in my build, but I try to retain the characteristics of the roofs and the first floor being the business space, and the second floor as the living space. And now I add some like lighting that kind of give us a more oriental style. Yeah, and I add a bit more frying pans and menus to make it look more like it. I don't know if you have been to any of the, not necessarily ramen shop, but any Japanese old restaurants. They will have a lot of menus pasted on the wall. And now I'm making a not living, is a waiting area where people can wait, and some chairs for the outside as well, but I add a little bit more greenery compared to the inside. So it's a place for both the customer and perhaps the owner to chilling out and looking outside. So yeah, and also add some lighting to the outer space, and add a bit of greenery. I struggle a lot. You can see that I struggle a lot with my choices in this build, because although I'm not completely new to Sims 4, I'm only like a few months. I'm a few months into The Sims, and Sims 4 is actually my first Sims game I've ever played. So I may be a little bit nervous or not so sophisticated when building it, and but I tried my best, really, and I add some roofing color as well. So now onto the second living space, the second floor living space. Originally, I imagined it as as a ramen shop that is being run by perhaps an old couple or something like that. But you can see how I changed my idea when you saw how I designed my second floor, because I find it to be more interesting when I decorate it more youthfully. Not necessarily youthful, but with a bit more vibrant, yet sometimes calm color. That I mainly use beige and white color on the second floor. And since there's not a very big area for living, so I try to minimize everything I can in the second floor. And the bathroom is I use an accent wall. You see, also struggle a lot on what accent I'm using, but I finally choose a brownish, this one, and accent color. So it's not very special. It's a very tiny, teeny tiny washroom, but I did some decoration with the shelves and towels and stuff like that. And then I'm now on to I use this carpet, not this one. I use a more colorful one, this one. And at this point, then I try to think, maybe perhaps the owner of this shop would be someone who's like a young heir from a family of ramen shop owners or ramen makers. That maybe she recently inherited this shop house, and then I tried to build it into a more youthful, yet is not very very super duper colorful, but it's kind of like you can sense that it's not an old couple living here. And I try to make at least since this living area is a bit small, but I still want to have a dining area and kind of like a living area. So I placed the dining table here with the television, and also some music plays there. And then I try to like divide the living area of kitchen, bedroom, and working area with the wallpapers. So you'll see later on that it's not a very big difference, but at least you can like spot the difference of where is the bedroom and where is the living area, and where is the working area, where is the dining area. Yeah, and this is what I envision, that what kind of seems to be living here. And it's not a lot of space. I think you can maximally live 2 people here, but I think you can actually add on some extra beds if you actually don't use that much furnishing. I mean, you can even delete the sofa if you really, really need to build a family here, because they're supposed to be a family house. And I think it's possible And usually this type of house is kind of small actually, so I think it's possible, but don't expect it to be a very family friendly living space because it's not big, and your whole first floor is used for serving the customers, things like that. And I add some landscaping outside as well, but then it's usually uncommon in real life Machia, because it's just because they're just neighboring shop houses. And later on here I realized I did something silly. I forgot the mailbox and also the garbage can, and I add some fences. Yeah, add them back. So I'm finishing the build. Nearly. And here we are. And this is Karen. I made it. And this is our house estate agent. And here she will demonstrate the house. And this is the front porch. And here's the waiting area. And Karen is using the kitchen space. And here are the bathrooms for the customers. And there's the outdoor area, and they can look at the outside. And there's a very nice view there as well. And you can have more customers as well. This outdoor space, there's a lot of potential outdoor space. And here we go to the second floor. And we have the working area, kitchen, the bathroom. And because it's so small that I need to look it up here, and this is the whole floor plan. You can see that we have the LDK all in one. And I think I'm quite satisfied with this build. So this is my first speed build video, and hope you enjoy this video. And you can find the build within my gallery and Tifinity. So wish you all happy simming. Well, in my family we do cook ramen every weekend, so that you know.